The secret to cohesive living is the realization that we are multiple selves. And those multiple selves will create chaos within you with their disagreements. However, you can utilize, when you know thyself, all the different selves and use it to always win. So even if you're in a sad situation, you can utilize that butthole funny part of you that could make a joke in a really sad situation, because that person now has a use. And when you're really angry, you can utilize your crybaby self to add a little water onto that fire, or vice versa. If you're being too much of a crybaby, you can utilize the fire anger self to tamper down. And you can get into discussing them archetypically and being like, oh, that's my child. Oh, that's my damsel. Oh, that's my loser. Oh, that's my saboteur. And you could talk that language. You could use whatever language you want. That's the beauty of interdimensional thinking. So you can use that. I came to this epiphany while reading the I Ching, because I cast the Ching and it's all done with lines. So just simply thinking of them as archetypical lines and how different lines are different brought together this image of the chaotic lines, but how you can also take that and imagine it as like a three-dimensional cylinder around you, and the cylinder is being held up by each strong line, not in the same position, but coming together to circle around you, probably your energy body, to circle around you and keep you safe, secure. They're aligned in a structure, but they're not the same. They're not in the same place. And whatever you want to think of these differentiating lines that build us, these archetypes, they are us, and they need to come into alignment. And the middle pillar, which would mean that you would have to have a leader, and that leader would be the Christ consciousness. Now, if you have the leader as the Christ consciousness, but then we know the opposing forces of Lucifer, Satan, that also fight for dominance as leader, I'm betting you the other types don't even want to be leader, but they're still there. Their lines getting pulled in, and I'm sure they have different camps that they both differently agree in on who's superior. But if we take Christ consciousness as our centered leader, so when we're in a disagreement with any of our personalities, you go with what would Christ consciousness say. And that's going to be love and light. So it would make sure that you're guaranteeing, despite having pirate archetypes and just real demonic pieces of things that live inside all of us, we all have super beautiful archetypes, but that will make that polarity real in us as well. So we will have that darkness inside us as well. So when we lead, because light always ends up being the stronger dominant force when we're dealing with light and dark, because darkness is just the absence of light, so it's automatically going to lead. So it easily explains why Christ consciousness would be the leader, because we do have to understand that God is both good and evil. So you can have a good reason for loving evil, because God is also evil. But this really pulls that all together, so that we don't have to be like, oh, I'm evil, because God's evil, and it's like, boo-hoo, why does anything exist if there's evil? It's not fair, which is very true. And there's those parts of us that viscerally feel what evil does. It's not a joke. It hurts. But then there's those higher parts of us that are capable of thinking like, no, but literally this is how the third dimension is created, and we are not capable yet of understanding why, but there is things that do understand why that's the way it is. And when you learn about it, like Matthias DeStefano is a good person to check in for that information, it does make sense. And this can make us embody the truth of that, not in a downward spiral, but knowing that Christ consciousness would automatically be the leader. It's the way it would have to be for it to make sense. We can come into alignment with all of our archetypes, and they can all just sit together, knowing that they all play their part. They all have a space in existence within you, know thyself, and that they can be comfortable knowing that they have validity, that they matter. Every part of you matters. You have complete validity. You completely matter as a human being. I believe in you forever and always. Goodbye for now, Spirit Mom.